So let me introduce Francesco Ferro.
Hi guys, you have a problem today. I have 20 minutes for speaking. So take your time. I hope that you had coffee, but yes, the first slide is also very important. It's 20 years that we are doing robotics, thanks to you. So I will try to make marketing messages for you, for sure, but also explain some robots and why we did these robots during these 20 years. So, like I said, we started this adventure in August 24, so 20 years ago, and now I just show some picture of the ICRA that we attended. We had a booth. We started this journey. My first ICRA was in 25, that it was in Barcelona, where our company is. And since there, we are doing very good robots. So the headquarters is in Barcelona. We are around 100 engineers, but we opened in 2020, so 4 years ago, a branch in Toulouse in order to have a joint lab with LAS. That we had a lab that is called Dynamograd in order to make and push the dynamic walking with biped robots. And last year, in September, we opened even in Bari. Bari, for who doesn't know, is in the Puglia, that is just the hill of the booth of Italian country. And we try to do, even in Italy, a lot of development of this kind of robots. For sure, we are not only doing research, but we are trying to cover the gap that are from university to the real world. And we focus our attention on service robotics. So the idea is not to work only in industry, when we have robots that has to be in the jail, but doing robots that could collaborate and work with the humans. So these are the developments and the robots that we still have in our portfolio. And here you can see some of them, probably you have seen for real during these years. And another important mention is that I'm also part of different associations here in Europe. First of all, Robotics, we will have later on La France that you will speak about this association, but also ADRA, and in Spain, AR and SPAROB, and IFR, that is and the International Federation of Robotics. We are doing a lot of things. So this slide is very important to understand what we are doing. We have 3 different business units. One is mobile interaction, the other one is legged robots, and the other is intralogistics robots. Video sometimes took time in order to download from internet, but all this information you have seen are on YouTube, so you can check the video, you can see later on what we did. And the idea is, why mobile interaction? Mobile interaction is probably one of the biggest research point in our company, that is social robotics, but also collaborative robotics, working not only in a service domain, but even in industry. So the idea is to have the Tiago robots that we see later on, the Ari robots, then we have the legged with Talos and Kangaroo, and from intralogistic point of view, we have mobile bases and also a good success in this mobile base, in this business units, that is the Stockbot project. But we will see later just few slides about these robots. So I can't forget our past. So in just 1 year, we started in 2004. In 2005, we had one biped humanoid robot that was walking and playing chess. That was called Remake, thanks to a project that we started with a company in UAE that just paid all the developments. And we did a lot of great development of these robots. And in a few minutes, probably you can also see me some years ago with the long hair like now, okay? and the Rimbeat was just the second robot that we did. This is me 20 years ago. I didn't have so white hair like now. and the Rimbeat was the advanced robots, biped robots that we did in 2008. After that, we also did our first wheeled robots. It's called RIM-H, and RIM. That was 2 years ago. 2 years later, sorry. I don't know. Here there were some video that I don't know if they will start. But the idea was to have these robots like a dynamic information point that could work inside a shopping mall. So what we did is just to put the robot in a real environment, making testing. We learned a lot. And most of the time, it was something that I've seen this morning in some slides, that robots failed all the time. So this is the truth. And so the idea is to try to make the best that we can in order to have more application of these robots, and not only robotics for robotics. Thanks to that, I just entered to collaborative project because we understood that having a robot in 1 year, like some companies just said, is just an utopia. So what we know is that we have to collaborate in order to make the proper application for these robots and working in the real world. What it means real world? We just made this kind of categorization. We have 4 different structures. We have R&D, so we still need to research, not only from software point of view, but a lot of hardware point of view in order to make better robot that can collaborate more and doing better stuff. But then we have don't to miss the real market. So we have healthcare problem use cases, industry use cases, and we also open the agri-food use cases. So we started the first project we had in 2013, Factory in a Day, and we had a collaboration with a lot of companies and a lot of universities. From a healthcare point of view, I just highlight some projects, like Spring project that just finished last month, I think. and the idea is to have an agri robot, so a social robot that could stay in a hospital. And so the problem is not only the navigation, but also the human-robot interaction. And so having a lot of persons that would like to interact with the robot. So who has to be the attention of the robots? So these are some of the challenges that we had. And even having a robots in real houses with elderly. So we had here some example. This was in Poland, where we put the robot with elderly. And so we did a lot of these tests. We are continuing doing this kind of tests. We had some ready solution that could be applied, but still needs a lot of developments. From agri-food side, we have some example, like the Canopies project, that will finish the end of this year, and just in a few weeks we will do the real demo and the real review with the robot that could just cut grapes and the pruning and taking grapes. And so the video doesn't work, sorry for that. And here you can see the industry side. Industry from one side is a navigation problem, so in order to make the navigation, but from the other side, there's also pick and place. But another very important issue is about the cybersecurity. So what could happen if someone just entering your network and just control your robot in an industry? Could be a nightmare, because an industry can't stop. So it has to work 24/7. So this is real things that we did in this project. Imagine for us, for example, in Decathlon, we enter in 13 countries. We have more than 200 robots that are doing inventory every day. Imagine that someone want to hack these kind of robots and just start doing something bad with these robots. So it's a real issue that we try to solve with our solution. How? From one side, using open source. So we are really proud to be part of the ROS community, now ROS2, but also we were active part of Orocos, and we are using all these things, and we are also giving back to the community our code in order to use this kind of development. So, for example, all the simulators that you have seen, not only Gazebo, but also Mojoko and all the other simulators, you can download for free our model, dynamic model, and you can use in your research without spending nothing, so 0 cost. And for the other side, we had a different project. And here you can see, and most of them, we will release open source code. For example, in OpenDR, that is Open Deep Learning for Robotics, we had a kit that you can download and use and compare, using it like a baseline in order to see if your algorithm is better of what we already trained. Not we, but the consortium, okay? So now enter a little bit in more detail about our product, about mobile basis. The idea is to move things around. So the idea is to don't compete with big trucks that are moving tons, but the idea is to have a small footprint that can just move around without any problem and an easy way. So our autonomous navigation software is something that is useful here. Where? Not only in industry, but also in warehousing, hotels, and all the other things with people around. So here you have some example. One that it was quite good was also thanks to the digital innovation hub Hero that we had here that was from here, from Netherlands. And we had the opportunity to work with hospitals in order to have robots that just can move analysis inside the hospitals in an easy way. Sometimes I just pressed the wrong button. From Tiago Base, I'm glad to announce that for the end of the year, we will have a beautiful discount if you purchase 1 base or 2 bases. So you just connect to our website, and we can just have a price for you. But a part of the joke, Stockbot. Stockbot is, like I said before, an important robot that is just doing autonomous inventory system every day. This video, probably I will just give some few seconds of this video, but you can find online. It was done by Decathlon, so it's not our video. We had no right to manipulate whatever they were thinking, and they speak better than we can do about our robots. So the idea is to provide services, to make the things easier and faster in an efficient way. So the robot with the antenna, RFID antenna, but we have also vision system. You can just check the things, the clothes in the retail shop in 3D. And so you can always know where are your things. But like I said, I have to go fast because I already take all the time. So the functionality you can imagine that are very tremendous. You can even use business intelligence in order to know where you have to put the things. And this is one very good, real solution for different use cases. And so we are not applying only retail, but we are working also in different other domains. And here is the main benefit, but I will skip. You can check on the website, because I would like to introduce you Kangaroo. That is our new biped robots. So now a lot of US companies are speaking, and also Eastern world countries are speaking about development of these robots. And we have our solution, the Kangaroo. Probably you have seen, last time I think that we show in ICRA in London, and we are hardly working on this. We have completely finishing this platform. And like you can see, we have, at the moment, the robot without the head, because we would like to make the grasping in front, in the back, and also we can just move the things from one side to the other. And so just having the, I don't know why it's not starting all the video, but the moving the object in a different way from the humans. So I know that from a human-robot interaction could be strange to see a biped robot without head, but from technological point of view, it's not something super strange, okay? Here you can see the robot just moving in different environment, only the lower body. We are just finishing to put in the arms that are the same arms that you will see now in the other robots. So the Tiago. So now we just show the Tiago Pro robots. That is the evolution, the Tiago that you have seen. You can also see in our booth one Tiago we call Tiago Plus Plus because it's with 2 arms. Here usually has to start one video if I just find the right button. Yeah. Okay, I skipped the video, I'm sorry. But the time is going. So the idea of this robot is to have a long arm. We did a very big workspace in order to take things from the floor and put out 1.80 meters. So the idea is to have the robot that also can, the difference with the first Tiago that you have seen probably, and you have seen also in our booth, is that we also have brakes and serial elastic actuator in the arms. So we have a completely force-controlled arms for these robots. And the idea is to use it in the factories, so in industry, but also in the healthcare stuff. And in order to do this, we develop a lot of software, because up to now I just speak about hardware, but more than the half of the company are software developer, and quite good one. And we just made everything with web user interface, so you don't have to program in different languages, but you just use a browser in order to use our software. And we have also what we call web GUI in order to have different modules that you can use easily in your mobile phone, in a tablet, or in a PC, wherever you want, located all around the world. About software development, I speak a little bit about open source, but the most important thing is about our impedance control and the whole body control that we develop in a full robot, like Talos robots. So you can see a lot of it of this. And advanced navigation. And for human-robot interaction, we just created the infrastructure that is called ROS4HRI, that is completely open source. It's on the GitLab of ROS, and you can use it in order to don't reinvent another architecture in order to use human-robot interaction. From customization Tiago, you can see here the evolution. You have robots without arm, with one arm, with two arms, and the new one with brakes and serial electric actuator. And we have here even a bundle of stuff. So now, before the end of the year, we are just becoming crazy and selling everything. Another thing that we just show in Sevilla this week was the Tiago Head Pro. And so we just added the new head of the Tiago Pro, and we just have a bundle especially for social development. So the idea is to have a very easy plug-and-play platform in order to make research and education. And we are using a lot for healthcare. So I think the time is finishing. So working together is super important. Like I always say, we have to use robotics in order to improve the quality of life. So we have to help people thanks to these developments. And so this is our mission and our vision. And in order to do this, we have to work together. So if someone is interested, just drop us emails. And I have to finally conclude just thanking the beautiful teams that we created in Barcelona that is just sharing this dream. All together, we are doing a lot of things. So please help us in order to make better robot and better society. Thank you.
Wow, that was much quicker than you said you would be.
Yes, and we also go in other
56
different
slides.
stuff. Yes.
Bravo. Thanks very much, Francesco. Are there any questions? We have time for a few questions. I cannot see very much.
It's difficult to do question to industry.
One over there.
There's one there.
Awesome, thank you for the talk. You mentioned open sourcing quite a bit of the software that you've developed as a company. I'm curious to know what kind of your ideological preferences are towards what you believe industry's role is in robotics, specifically when it comes to open source, and how you go about deciding what you open source versus what you close source.
Good question. So from one side, we trust on open source because even if could be a problem because someone else can create another company and just copy and doing better things than you with the same code. But from the other side, we just seen that especially in industry, imagine big industry, ask us to have open source because most of the time they just had a specific development and then nobody was able to continue this development because they took some decision that it was a specific decision. So for us, for example, at the beginning, it was not ROS. So we started in 2004, there were no ROS. At the time it was player stage, for who remembers about robotics, and other middleware. And we create our own ROS from scratch in order to make the biped robot that we have seen working. This is a mess because we always forget the maintenance cost of this software. So having a standard that we can collaborate and working together is one of the most important things in order to give continuity of this kind of work. And even if sometimes some people inside also of our company just trying to make a fork in order to solve some solution, we always stop because it's better to have this kind of standard all together with the community in order to develop better. So probably in the short term is not the best option, but in long term, and you have seen, it's 20 years that we are in the market, is the solution and the way to go.
Really nice. Thank you very much, Francesco. Thanks again.